I went it on my life. I can tell this time. On phone them. Hey, it's Cap back with another react on phone them. Oh, what the fuck going on, bro? I'm back with some more shit. A little different type of video, a little different type of reaction. You know, I'm still throwing my comedic twist on it. But these dumbass niggas from LA, Coolkicks LA to be exact, they got caught and went to jail. They say it stole $2 million worth of shit. Like, I don't know. This is what I just seen. I don't really know what's going on. We finna see what type of ring these niggas got going on. How the fuck these niggas get booked and shit. You feel me? Is that why you don't really hear too much about Coolkicks no more? Because remember, Coolkicks was inviting niggas to they was doing that series on YouTube and all that. Like, niggas was making buku bread. Like, I mean, that's why I be feeling like if anybody who make it, y'all had to do some type of weird shit to get on. Like, that's just period. Like, why ain't nobody legit? Like, legit is not a real thing. You feel me? So, if y'all see me make it overnight, nigga, y'all know what's going on. But I'm here for the long run. I don't even see myself doing no dumbass shit like that. You feel me? So, we finna get into the video. We finna see what's going on. That like button, hit that sub button, hit that share button. Go ahead, tell your friends about me. Get y'all hot fries, get y'all weed, roll up. You feel me? We finna see what type of dumb shit these niggas done got themselves into, man. We aiming for the stars, shooting for the moon. I'm back with my reactions, bro. Y'all know what the fuck going on.
Something strange was happening inside the sneaker world. Federal agents were showing up everywhere.
12 people face federal charges now, accused of stealing more than $2 million in Nike products from the company's North American logistics center.
Jordans is basically Nike products on Fulham for all my uneducated brothers who didn't know.
Right here in Memphis.
Federal prosecutors say this went on for at least 4 years, totaling nearly $2 million.
It was the other co-owner of Coolkicks that was taken into custody by LAPD.
Including 40-year-old Keith Cannon, who owned Valid Kicks.
Project Blitz, Coolkicks.
Wait. Who was Valid Kicks?
40-year-old Keith Cannon, who owned Valid Kicks.
Project
Valid Kicks. $5 million of stolen. $5 million of stolen Nike products recovered by LAPD. This was in 2024.
Blitz, Coolkicks.
January 30th, 2024. LA sneaker reseller arrested for allegedly buying $500,000 of stolen Nike train cargo products, arrested during live stream. Hey, so did they just did they buy this shit off a nigga knowing it was stolen, and then did, like, you feel me, or did they steal it themselves? You feel me? Like, cause if y'all just bought it, if they just bought it stolen, you feel me? We can find loopholes around that. Like, even if we knew this shit was stolen, in court we can, you feel me? I ain't did nothing but buy shit. You know, you feel me? All I did was buy shit. I didn't steal anything. I didn't do anything. I just bought it. You feel me? Come on, you get a deal on anything. You niggas buying shit. Come on, bro. That's not illegal to buy shit. How the fuck did I know this shit was stolen? You feel me?
Warehouses filled with thousands of sneakers, search warrants, evidence boxes, and phones being held outside storefronts trying to figure out what was happening. But nobody seemed to know the answer. There were plenty of rumors about counterfeit sneakers, money laundering, tax fraud, stuff like that.
I can see money laundering. I'm full up. I can see them niggas money laundering, but counterfeit sneakers, didn't they just get on that Johnny Dane nigga for doing that, selling fake diamonds and shit? They said that was fake though.
Law enforcement and the government stayed completely silent. No interviews, no detailed press conferences, just a series of raids that at the time seemed to be a little bit unrelated. That's how it looked from the outside looking in. While the sneaker community was trying to guess what happened, federal investigators were allegedly putting together a case that had been going for years. And according to a federal indictment that just got released this month, I think we have answers to everything we need to know.
They've been cooking up. Oh, phone them.
The story didn't begin with Coolkicks or Project Blitz or even California. It all began in a warehouse that was nearly 2,000 miles away. Nike's North American Logistics Center that was located in Memphis, Tennessee. Every single day, this building moves thousands of Nike products across the United States.
Yeah.
If you've ever bought a pair of Jordans or Nike Dunks or anything of that nature, there's a good chance that it goes through this warehouse first. This is essentially the beating heart of Nike's entire supply chain. Products arrive in this.
So a motherfucker was hit to where y'all trap was at. On phone, a motherfucker knew where y'all main trap was, where all the product was. On phone.
Warehouse from around the world. They get sorted, packed, labeled, loaded into trucks, and then shipped to retailers across the country, like Foot Locker or Champs or wherever you buy your shoes.
Wherever you want to go.
And on paper, it's one of the most efficient logistics systems.
This the big dog. This is where everybody get their shit from. Like any shoe store, period. They going through here.
In the entire world. Every package has a barcode, every carton has a destination, and every movement is seemingly tracked. And every shipment has one small detail that tells the entire system where to go, and that's a shipping label. And according to federal prosecutors, that tiny piece of paper would allegedly become the key to one of the biggest sneaker theft conspiracies in recent history. And the more investigators looked into this case, the more they realized that it wasn't just a traditional cargo theft. Nobody was cutting locks or hijacking the trucks or breaking into the warehouse in the middle of the night. The operation allegedly relied on something a lot more simple, and that was the shipping process itself. Imagine you go online and order a pair of Jordans from Nike or the website. The order gets processed, Nike packs the shipment, and a shipping label is printed. And that label tells UPS exactly where the package belongs, as long as the label is correct. Now imagine somebody quietly replaces that label before the package ever leaves the building. The box is still scanned, and it still gets loaded into the truck, and UPS delivers it. But the only difference is the destination. And according to the indictment, this is what investigators believe exactly happened. So whenever there's a hype Jordan release, like let's just say, for example, the Jordan 4 Brick by Bricks, somebody in the warehouse would locate what boxes were filled with these sneakers that were going to be shipped out to Foot Locker or Champs or wherever. And when loading these up onto the UPS trucks to be shipped out to these stores, somebody would slap a label over the top of the one that was already on there. And this...
So, they had a motherfucker on the inside. Like, so the motherfucker that was on the inside, like this one... Like, was this was this one of their homies? Like, was this a main figure, or was this like a nigga like, you work there, you want to make some extra cash type shit?
New UPS label would then ship it to a different location that wasn't the intended store. And this was addresses that investigators say had already been chosen by members of this conspiracy. And from that point on, the package would follow the new label. But changing the label was only half the job. And that's because a shipping label sitting on somebody's desk in Los Angeles can't move a single package inside the warehouse in Memphis. So somebody had to sneak those labels inside. And according to federal prosecutors, this is where it became an inside job at the Nike warehouse. And court documents allege that one of these organizers was Roy Harvey Jr. And he is seen to be one of the masterminds behind this whole operation. And like a year ago when Project Blitz got raided, one of the masterminds behind this whole operation. And like a year ago when court documents allege that
there's nobody under 30 on this list. On phone there's nobody under 30 on this list. That's what I'm saying, like, and it's Memphis or LA on phone. You got one Chicago, one Olive Branch, and one Charleston, and then the rest is Memphis or LA. Damn. Like, just go to show you, like, gang, no matter how old you is, gang, don't quit. On phone now. You never know when your day is, folks. You feel me? You feel me? Like, these niggas pop. So, They said this shit was 5 years ago. It took them 5 years. So these two was the youngest niggas. They was 25 when that shit started popping. You feel me? But the oldest nigga on this bitch was 35 when this bitch took off. 42 on FINDIN. The oldest nigga was 42 when it. You feel me? So it's really like, nigga never give up.
One of these organizers was Roy Harvey Jr.
Hey, what that nigga Babyface Ray say? Legal or illegal, if it makes sense, nigga, do it. FINDIN
seemed to be one of the masterminds behind this whole operation. And like a year ago when Project Blitz got raided, it was because
is it like, it's 5 years of notoriety and wealth. I wouldn't even say wealth, because niggas probably ain't even wealthy. They probably just was, you feel me? They was making more than what they was used to. You get what I'm saying? So I wouldn't even say wealth, but was the notoriety and shit worth it? Like, now, like, how long do y'all got to do in jail? You get what I'm saying?
Roy Harvey Jr. He had been seen delivering or using some of these packages around the Project Blitz warehouse, and that's what got him raided. But according to this indictment, investigators allege that he created these shipping labels and arranged the delivery locations and coordinated where those redirected shipments would ultimately end up. Because Harvey wasn't a Nike employee and he couldn't just walk into the warehouse. According to the prosecutors, somebody else on the inside was handling how the labels got on the packages. And the indictment identifies a man named Michael Perkins. He was a floor manager inside Nike's Memphis logistics.
I told y'all, nigga, they needed somebody on the inside on FINDIN. Like, we got to figure out. You feel me?
Allegedly,
so, like, but was he ahead? Like, was he a part of the plan, or like
smuggle these shipping labels inside of the Nike warehouse where he would give them to other Nike employees? And prosecutors allege that these employees would place the labels onto specific cartons before they entered Nike's normal shipping process. And like I previously said, nothing on these packages looked abnormal. The packages continued out of the warehouse just like they would on any other day. And that's what made this operation so hard to detect. And this wasn't something that happened just once or twice. Courts allege that between 2022 and 2024, 1,860 fraudulent shipping labels tied to Roy Harvey Jr. was operated successfully through this whole process. And just to mention, this isn't 1,800 pairs, this is 1,860 boxes that are filled with multiple pairs. Whenever a shoe comes out, sometimes a sneaker reseller will have an entire full-size run. They'll have hundreds or 200, 300 pairs of a shoe that's like just came out. Or also in the sneaker world, there's like early pairs. You'll see people have multiple pairs of shoes before they come out, like months before they come out. But what happened after the shoes left Memphis was almost a little more surprising. And investigators didn't follow the shipping labels, they followed the shoes. And that's where this story takes kind of an unexpected turn. And you have to remember, all of this is happening in private.
That's what I'm saying. Like, well, they thought they was so smart. They thought they was really getting off. Like, they're not even following. Like they not even following the label, because obviously the label. You feel me? But it's like, where's these shoes? So even though they made a X amount of these shoes, they can still track where the fuck the shoe ended up, where a specific shoe ended up. This shit's scary, bro. I'm trying to tell you, that illegal shit dead.
This was before they decided to raid anybody or make any sort of like public thing about this. So by this point, investigators believed that they understood how the shoes were leaving the warehouse. But that only answered half of the mystery, because stolen inventory doesn't just disappear. Somebody has to receive it, somebody has to pay for it, and eventually somebody has to sell it. So investigators started following these sneakers and shipments. Now, according to these court documents and stuff, it doesn't really say how they were able to identify this. Some people say that they put trackers like inside the shoes or inside the boxes. Some people said that they like went over their inventory lists, or I don't know how they did it. I wish I had this answer, because that'd probably make this video a little bit more interesting, but I don't know how they tracked down these shoes from the Memphis warehouse to what I'm about to say. So instead of these boxes of sneakers showing up at retailers like Champs, Foot Locker, maybe a Nike store, these boxes of hundreds of pairs of Jordans would go into an undisclosed location, and they would essentially just be dropped off by UPS. So after these shoes were being unpacked, they were being sold at sneaker conventions, sneaker stores, and other sneaker websites. And some of these pairs were just placed into a warehouse or the backs of stores to be sold in eventually. And like I said previously, if you have some of these shoes that don't release for 4 months and you have like 100 or 200 pairs, that looks really suspicious. So in some cases, they would just keep these shoes until like a week or two after they released and they were hot and everybody wanted them, and then they'd begin like flipping them. So I'm assuming that's where some of these shoes would end up in like warehouses and stuff. But investigators started looking into resale businesses, and the further they followed these shipments, the more these certain names kept popping up. One of them being Chicago Emporium, which is a large Chicago resale business. Another one being Whorehead Investments. And then there was one name that stood out above all the others, and that name was Coolkicks. And if you've been around sneaker culture for like the past decade, you know who Coolkicks is. Coolkicks wasn't a small reseller operating out of like a storage unit. It was one of the biggest sneaker stores in America. Yeah, they got NBA players, rappers, celebrities, all these people bought shoes from there in Los Angeles. And their videos reached millions of people on the daily. And for a lot of sneakerheads, Coolkicks represented the top of the resale world. They were definitely one of the most popular sneaker resale stores and YouTube channels in this entire business. So a lot of people think that it's just a deal that owns it, the guy that's mainly on the face of the channel. But there's another man named Bareket Abraham, and he also goes by BK. But in these legal documents, he is accused of playing a role in the early stages of this conspiracy. The prosecutors allege that between July 2021 and May 2022, Roy Harvey, which is the mastermind of this, he received 149 shipping labels that were associated with the Coolkicks store. And that allegation matters because those labels were allegedly used before Harvey began creating labels through his own company, which was RHJ Global. Which, in other words, prosecutors believe that this whole scheme was evolving over time. It didn't begin as like this huge, massive like operation. It started with just like a few people. And when the money entered the picture,
so this shit got motherfuckers realized that's what it was. Motherfuckers got sloppy. Motherfuckers realized they like, hey, for this shit work on Photom, and then he told Photom, then Photom told Photom, and then Photom told Photom, and then niggas just started doing it.
Things get more serious. But according to the indictment, between April and November 2023, Coolkicks allegedly sent approximately $127,000 to a man named Keith Cannon, who was also mentioned in these documents for this whole scheme. On top of that, they had allegedly sent another $88,275 to Roy Harvey Jr., who was the mastermind. But before we jump to conclusions, those numbers don't prove any guilt. Some people say that Coolkicks was just buying shoes from this person and they didn't know that they were stolen.
That's what I was saying.
And I'll leave it up to you guys and your own research to figure that out. But when reading the legal documents, there was some more evidence that kind of stood out. In September 2022, Roy Harvey allegedly asked the co-owner of Coolkicks to create fake invoices. And the prosecutors alleged that these invoices would make it appear that these shipments were legitimate. And this would allow these packages that may have gotten held up in UPS to then be released. So on the off chance, if these sneakers are being transported from the Nike facility to these undisclosed locations, if or when these packages got held up, you would have to provide something that says like you bought these shoes before they would be released. And that's where these fake invoices would come about. Basically saying like, hey, I paid Roy Lee, this guy, X amount of money, like he's delivering these shoes to me because I bought them. But in reality, they were all coming from the Nike warehouse illegally and stolen. But this is just a conspiracy. This is not proven fact. I'm just simply telling the story how it is. Also, according to the indictment, Chicago Emporium was allegedly purchasing large quantities of shoes connected to this operation as well. Federal prosecutors alleged that Joel DeLuna, I think is the owner of Chicago Emporium, he negotiated with Harvey to receive unreleased Nike products. Meanwhile, another Los Angeles retailer, Whorehead Investments, he allegedly also sent nearly $700,000 in wire transfers connecting to this government's investigation. So everybody that I just named were resellers that were allegedly sending money to Roy Harvey to get these shoes so that they could flip them themselves or sell them in their store. And piece by piece, shipment by shipment, and payment by payment, what first looked like a warehouse theft was beginning to look like something that was much, much larger. The prosecutors believe believed that they had just uncovered an alleged distribution network stretching from the floors of Nike's warehouse in Memphis all the way to some of the biggest sneaker resale businesses in the world. But if these investigators spent years following these shipments and following the labels and following the money, what finally caused this whole operation to fall apart? Well, for years, according to the federal investigations, the operation kept working. Shipments continued to leave Memphis, labels continued to change destinations, and businesses continued buying inventory. And remember, all of this was done in secrecy. They were spending a while trying to figure this out and piece this together before they began just raiding and arresting everybody. But from the outside, nothing looked different. Nike was still shipping shoes, UPS was still delivering them, and the resale market was still growing. And when it comes to a resale store, when customers walk in and buy a pair of shoes, they don't know where they came from before the store. Like I said, these are resale stores. They buy them from people and resell them because they're hype shoes. So the customer has no idea of knowing where these were previously before the resale store. And investigators were quietly piecing together things that didn't seem related at first. A shipping label here, a payment there, phone records, wire transfers, delivery addresses. On their own, none of those told the full story. But together, the prosecutors were able to form like a pattern. And then one moment changed everything. In January of 2024, Roy Harvey was arrested in Los Angeles. And this was when the popular sneaker resale warehouse and platform Project Blitz got raided. And for those who don't know, Project Blitz, they're huge. They have a YouTube channel and they've even been on like Pawn Stars. They make videos pretty much showing off some of the rarest sneakers that you can possibly buy in the world. But supposedly, after they gathered this evidence, they arrested him with 28 cartons of stolen Nike products that were connected to this whole conspiracy. And that is why Project Blitz got raided, because somehow, some way, he was delivering shoes to Project Blitz. But the Project Blitz story is an entire video on its own, and all the controversy that comes with that. But this was one of the first moments that investigators could say that they could physically connect redirected shipments to somebody in this operation, and that was Roy Harvey. But this arrest didn't stop the investigation. They went through Harvey's phone, his financial records, and they found connections that led to new leads. Investigators weren't just looking backwards anymore, they were starting to connect the pieces on this whole map. After the mastermind of this whole thing got put away in jail, now the business is still going. That means somebody's still doing this and people are still buying this from Nike. And that's when they realized this whole operation wasn't just centered around one person. It was an entire team. And it was 12 people to be exact. And so the investigators, they kept going. They kept reviewing financial records, they kept interviewing witnesses.
So boom, when the head of the when the main nigga got caught, these niggas just thought it was so intelligent, like, man, yeah, fuck it. We finna keep doing this, man. Here goes some more labels. Go ahead and put that shit on. Like, niggas be like, greed is a real drug. Greed is a real thing. Be careful with greed, cause greed will fuck you over. You get what I'm saying? Be careful.
The case kept expanding, and this was when everybody started to get raided. Like I said before, the Project Blitz store got raided, and then the Coolkicks store also got raided while on live stream. This became like a huge viral moment. Like, they were selling shoes on a live, the police busted in, and then there's all these clips of them getting arrested. Everybody thought this was because they were selling counterfeit shoes, and that's not at all the case. As well as there was clips online that showed a house that got raided that was completely full from like top to bottom with Nike shoes. And on top of all this, the Chicago warehouse that was Chicago Emporium also got raided. When all of this was happening, nobody really knew why. Like I said, everybody speculated counterfeit shoes, and everybody was slandering Coolkicks, saying they sold like fake shoes, and that's not true. As well as Project Blitz, they got bashed everywhere for this, but in reality, they probably just bought a few pairs of shoes that were stolen that they didn't know about. But regardless, all these business reputations got cooked. But in July of this year, a federal grand jury returned a sweeping indictment charging 12 people with offenses including conspiracy, interstate transportation of stolen property.
Conspiracy, bro, conspiracy is crazy. Like, if you get caught with conspiracy, folk, you can get double the time, like, than the actual charge. Like, that shit is crazy. So all they gotta do is prove that you had an idea, or you was planning, or you was conspiring, nigga, to do it. You feel me? And then it's booked. So it's like, even if you had a conversation talking about it, then you did one little minor step. You feel me? So it'd be like, you got to think of it like, with the labels. For example, we can use the labels as an example. Like, if they went through a nigga phone and they found, if they go through the nigga phone and they find out like, oh, he tweaking, he and this bitch talking about, he and this bitch talking about how to create the labels. You feel me? He and this bitch talking about how to create the labels. Then they proved that he went and did some, like, either like going to buy a printer or going to buy sticky papers for the, like, you feel me? They prove any of that, nigga, they can hit you with conspiracy.
And wire fraud. And of these 12 names that were in this were Roy Harvey Jr., BK from Coolkicks, the Chicago Emporium guy, Perkins. You guys can look at the list yourself. But for the sneaker community, this was the first time that these allegations were made public. And suddenly, all those raids, all those rumors, and all those unanswered questions, they finally had context just this month. But this story isn't just about Coolkicks or one warehouse. It's about something much bigger. It's about how an industry built on hype and scarcity created one of the most perfect environments for an operation like this to exist for years. But like I said, everything in this video is just alleged, and everybody in this case is innocent until proven guilty. I'm simply just stating what was in these documents. I'll pop it up on the screen right here. Coolkicks actually made a statement about this and their co-owner and what's going on with them. I'll let you guys read that on your own. But in my opinion, their co-owner
Indictment contains no allegations of wrongdoing by Coolkicks or anyone, so Mr. Abraham's relationship with the company.
And what's going on with them. I'll let you guys read that on your own. But in my opinion, the most surprising part about all this isn't the whole like
just had to get rid of
it's
him
about
publicly.
what happens to the sneakers.
You don't know what they're doing in private,
these
though.
$2 million worth of shoes, thousands of pairs that were stolen.
Then
where
they
did
said
they
he
go?
still
What
owns
people,
stocks,
I'll let you
right?
guys read that on.
Yeah. He owns
Your own,
stock.
but in my opinion, of resale number, no way to certain resale stores were all selling shoes that were stolen from Nike and they didn't know it, as well as all the stores that were not involved in this scheme that bought the shoes just because they wanted to flip them. Like, for example, if I had 30 pairs of these shoes that were stolen from Nike and I sold them to somebody else and they sold them to somebody else, and like, you get what I'm saying? It's hard to track all these down. So there was plenty of people in this whole scheme that were selling shoes that were stolen that they didn't even know it. And that's what makes this case so much different. It wasn't counterfeit fake shoes. It was real authentic Nike products that were just being circulated everywhere in the United States. And the sneaker community spent months trying to figure out why all these people got raided, and it seems like now we finally have some answers. And that's for you to decide. Once again, I'm just telling the story. I'm not taking sides with anybody. But the answer to this entire mystery was sitting on the box the entire time from the very beginning. And it was just a shipment. And also one of the most elaborate schemes I think I've ever heard in sneaker history. And that pretty much wraps up today's.
Niggas is thieves at the end of the day. Take money to get money, I ain't gonna lie. Everything corrupted. I ain't gonna lie. Everything is corrupted. You feel me? Niggas be thinking they smarter than the program, gang. It's 2026. The end of 2026 damn near. So I ain't gonna lie. You gotta really think. It's illegal shit, not even a wave, gang. Like, you feel me? Like, if you ain't ready to do the time, don't phone them. Don't even do the crime. Like, I know that shit so corny, so old, so like, you feel me? Like common sense, but it's like, it's real shit. Like, if you ain't ready to do the time, don't even think about doing a crime, bro. Get up, go get a job. You feel me? That's what I went and did. I went and got a job because I don't want to do the time no more. I don't phone them. You feel me? And I'm just a real nigga, so like, I'm not gonna try to weasel my way out of anything. You feel me? It's just real shit. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I will embezzle $2 million from a company that I work for. You feel me? Go and do that year and a half. What the fuck, nigga? It's a year and a half, nigga. They give me 3 years, nigga. Embezzling, that's white collar crime. You're not doing no, man. I'm tweaking. I'm giving niggas too much game. They might You feel me? Like, you feel me? Hit that like button, hit that sub button. We gonna see y'all in the next video, bro. Tell me what y'all think. You feel me? I don't know. I believe niggas stole them bitches. You feel me? Because they popped up out of nowhere with hella shoes. They didn't always had a hell of shoes. You feel me? So it's either motherfuckers had a dumb capital or, you feel me? They stole. For no.